Today I have the Audio-Technica ATR2100 in the studio. This microphone is not only a USB mic, but it is also an XLR mic. But we'll get into all of that here really soon, but first, play that funky track, white boy. I'm, of course, the white boy that I referred to earlier. Welcome, all audio nerds, to the Audio Hotline. As I stated before, this is the Audio-Technica ATR2100, not to be confused with the ATR1200, which I actually reviewed very recently. But as I also said before, there are a ton of advantages to having an XLR and USB microphone in one. So think of it this way real quick. If you're starting out right now and you don't have an audio interface or a lot of audio equipment in general, but you want to get started on a podcast or recording something in general. In that scenario, a lot of people would refer you, of course, to a USB microphone because if you have a computer, you can use it. You plug that microphone into your computer, open GarageBand or Audacity, some free DAW, and you're recording. So USB microphones are really nice that way. But the way that this often happens is that someone gets a USB microphone and then later on they maybe want to upgrade to something that sounds a little bit better. So they buy an audio interface. Do you know what happens with their USB microphone? It just gets put to the side because you can't plug a USB microphone into an audio interface. I mean, sure, maybe you'd use the USB microphone when you traveled or something and you didn't want to take a bunch of equipment, but that's the nice thing about this microphone. If you want to get started now and you don't have a bunch of audio equipment, record it into your computer. Fantastic. If you want to eventually upgrade, guess what? You don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You can plug this in with an XLR cable, which I'm doing right now. It's awesome that this has both capabilities. And some of you that have been around the Audio Hotline for a while might be thinking, hey, these features sound really similar. And you'd be darn tootin'. They sound exactly like the Samson Q2U, which I am a big fan of. The Samson Q2U is an XLR USB microphone, has the headphone jack and everything like this microphone. Very similar, like, too similar? Honestly, I don't know which one came first and who copied who, but whatever. But these are not identical. They do sound different. But just fair warning, I will not be comparing the Q2U and the ATR2100 today. If you're interested in a video like that, go ahead and comment it down below, and I'll definitely make it. As I stated before, I am using an XLR cable right now to record this into my Zoom H6 at about 60% gain. I will, of course, test this as a USB microphone here in a little bit as well. All right, well, now let's go ahead and talk about what comes in the box when you purchase the ATR2100. You can currently purchase the ATR2100 on Amazon for $63. When you purchase the Audio-Technica ATR2100, it will come with a microphone clip, a desktop microphone stand, a mini USB to USB cable to plug it into your computer, and an XLR cable. And last but most importantly, it will come with the ATR2100 Dynamic Microphone. When it comes to the build quality of the microphone and the products that come with it, I honestly think that it is completely fine, especially for $63. I feel like the microphone build itself actually feels really good. As far as the accessories go, they're not great, but they're fine. The microphone clip, I'm not a big fan of. It actually has like a weird feel to it, and honestly doesn't grip the microphone super well. The USB cable is fine, but the XLR cable definitely feels pretty cheap. These cables will absolutely work. I have no fear of that. I just worry about how long they'll work for. And speaking of the build and the body of this microphone, there are a couple features on it that we can discuss real quick. It does have an on and off switch, which I think is a fantastic feature, especially when it comes to like a microphone like this that people are probably going to use for podcasting. Down on the bottom of the microphone, it does have the XLR port, and it also has the mini USB port, but you'll see that it also has a headphone jack right there as well. This is so you can directly monitor the microphone. Next to the headphone port, you will see that it has a dial, and this will allow you to turn your headphone volume up or down. Well, now that we've gone over some of the basics of this microphone, let's go ahead and nerd out and talk about the specs. The Audio-Technica ATR2100 is a dynamic microphone with a cardioid polar pattern. It has a frequency response of 50 Hz to 15 kHz. When this microphone is being used as an XLR microphone, you do not need to engage phantom power. This is a dynamic microphone, not a condenser microphone. When it comes to this microphone as a USB mic, it can record a bit depth of 16-bit a sample rate of either 44.1 kilohertz or 48 kilohertz. When looking at the frequency graph of this microphone, it's nothing too crazy. There's a little tiny dip in the low mids, nothing really to write home about. It does start boosting a little bit before 2K and hits about a 5 or 6 decibel boost around 5 kilohertz and is relatively boosted in the high end, but it's not insane. I've definitely seen microphones that are way more boosted in the high end. Well, now that we've gone over the basics and the specs of this microphone, let's go ahead and get to what matters, the sound. Let's test this microphone out. If you want to make your microphone as uncomfortable as possible by getting super close to it, here's how it's going to sound. This microphone does not include a windscreen. This is just like a cheap little $3 one from Amazon. I'm just going to throw it on in case some of you do use a windscreen with it. Then you'll know how it sounds and if you potentially need to buy one. Maybe creeping out windscreens are your thing, so you want to get real close to it. Here's how it's going to sound. Now, just fair warning, this is going to get a little loud, might be bad, I don't know for sure. Here is the plosive test. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled peanuts. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled peanuts. Now with the windscreen. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled peanuts. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled peanuts. If you talk directly into the front of the ATR2100, here is how it's going to sound. If you talk into the side of the ATR2100, here's how it sounds. And if you talk into the back of the ATR2100, here's how it sounds. Since this is a dynamic cardioid microphone and it fits in the hand, maybe someone out there will hold it. I'm not sure. I'm not positive. It's possible. But here's how it would sound if you were going to just handle the shit out of this microphone. If you're going to buy this microphone with the intention of using post-processing on it for a podcast, YouTube content, whatever it is, here's how it could sound with some EQ. Well, possibly if I do use EQ, I'll put the graph up on the screen so you can see what I did. I will use a little bit of compression and possibly a noise remover to lower that noise floor when the compressor brings that noise floor up. And I will also potentially use a de-esser. If I do, I'll let you know. But here's how it could sound with some post-processing on it. If you potentially wanted to use this microphone with it further away so it's not in the camera shot, if you're like a YouTuber or something like that, then here is how this microphone could sound about 3 feet away from me. So this test might look a little bit different, actually. I've actually edited like all of this video at this point, and I couldn't find my USB test for this microphone anywhere. Could not find it. So here I am right now doing the USB test. And so right now I have the ATR2100 plugged into my MacBook Pro into Logic Pro X. I'm recording it at about 50% gain. As you should probably be able to see, this cute little blue LED light comes on when it's powered by the USB port on your computer, which is it's nice. So this is the sound difference when the ATR2100 is being used as a USB microphone instead of an XLR microphone. The next clip will be an XLR version of this microphone using the Zoom H6. So if you want to hear the difference, just listen to this here in a second. Here we go. Right now. Let's go. Let's switch it. Okay. Now switch. Since I am a big fan of the Samson Q2U, I decided that I want to be extra thorough right now, and I want to go back and listen to some of this audio for a little bit, see how I feel about it before I give you my official review of it. But luckily for you, it's literally going to be the next clip, so here we go. All right, now that I've gone back and listened to everything, let's go ahead and jump into my review for the Audio-Technica ATR2100. I was kind of worried that this was going to outperform the Samson Q2U, but at the same time, I was excited for there to be another microphone that was like that has a different sound just so people can pick between which sound they like more. I just think that the features that come with the Q2U and the ATR2100 are really awesome. I just love the idea of a microphone being USB and XLR capable. In the music world, shit gets real expensive. So $63 for a microphone that's USB and XLR capable. I was worried, how good is the build going to be? How good are the accessories going to be? How good is the overall sound going to be? Because if you figure, hey, there's a USB mic and an XLR microphone, it takes money to put those features in here. Therefore, there's less money to spend on the capsule, the things that make this microphone sound good. So originally with the Q2U, I was thinking like, hey, this is gonna sound like shit because they're just throwing features into a microphone. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna be good. But I was surprised that the quality was solid for the price and for what it was capable of. And truthfully, I'm pretty much in the same park with the ATR2100. I think this is a very solid option for a beginner to get started with, but then also not have to throw the microphone away or stop using it if they get an interface. So overall, I do think it is a very solid option, especially for $63, but let me get specific here. The build of this microphone is very good for $63. I wouldn't give a shit if it didn't come with a single accessory for $63 getting this microphone. So the fact that the accessories were lackluster didn't matter to me much. So what you get for your money is definitely good. Not great in the accessory department, but it's definitely good. All of the features that are included on this microphone, in this microphone, fantastic. I've been ranting and raving about it this whole video, so I don't need to explain that much, but XLR, USB, headphone jack, headphone volume control, on and off switch. Awesome. My hair's getting flat. It's unacceptable. Maybe I'll just do this. We good? Cool. When it comes to the sound of this microphone, I think it sounds pretty solid. Sometimes microphone companies can take that high-end boost a little too far, but I feel like this is reasonable. I think it sounds good. But I think that this sound is very good just by itself right out of the gate. There's not much more you need to do to it. I would say that, a couple little moves with the EQ, it would help. Couldn't hurt. Unless you're not good at EQing, then it could hurt. Overall, I don't really have a whole lot to complain about here, especially for the price. I definitely think this is a passable podcast, YouTube creator, YouTube gamer microphone. I think it is solid. As far as like music and stuff goes, I would use this for like demos and stuff, but I mean, other than that, I wouldn't use this seriously for music, but I would absolutely use it as a tool to record. I'm a tool. I'm not going to tell you whether I like this more than the Samson Q2U, because honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I would make a comparison video if enough people are interested in that. I just feel like this has a little bit more hype than the Q2U, and the Q2U just might have a little bit more oomph. I just think that it comes down to the user and what they want their microphone to sound like, and now that you've heard this one and the Q2U, you can decide which one would work for you. So the grade that I give the Audio-Technica ATR2100 is an A. Thank you for watching this review of the ATR2100. I hope it helped you out, that you found it informative? Yeah, that you found it informative, but most of all, I hope you had fun. Stay tuned for a lot more reviews, a lot more comparisons, a lot of other videos just trickled in. Thank you to all of my subscribers. You are the most fantastic people on the face of the planet, and anyone who disagrees can fight me. Unless you're bigger than me, and stronger than me, and faster than me, then you're disqualified. Which means I win. Loophole. And once again, thank you for watching the Audio Hotline. I'll see you audio nerds next time.